Okay, this is Lección Preliminar número 1 for Spanish 1. The purpose of these is for you to listen to the lesson at home and be able to work with the subject matter when you get back to class. There are usually some questions that correspond with each lesson that are attached to Canvas as assignments. The subject of tonight's lesson is to discriminate between tú and usted. Both of them mean the same thing in English, which is you, the subject you, like you are beautiful or how do you feel. But in Spanish, there are two different forms. One is formal, usted, and the other, tú, is informal. In this slide, we see two people meeting for the first time. They're going to use the formal usted, even if they're the same age and even if they work together. Hola, señorita, ¿cómo está usted? Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? Some of the situations are a little complicated about when you use the formal and informal. In this picture, we have a young man who's maybe taking the daughter of the older man out on a date. He is always going to refer to her father using usted to show respect for the older gentleman. The older man may use the tú form with the younger man just to be clear about the nature of their relationship. Hola, señor, ¿cómo está usted? Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? In Spain, they have an informal plural. If you're in a group with a whole bunch of your friends from your team and they're all boys, you would say vosotros. If they're all girls, you would say vosotras. If it's mixed, you go to the masculine vosotros. But in most countries, they don't use that form, that subject, and we just go to the plural of the formal. So it would be ustedes, you all. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Notice that in this case, the verb has an an ending. So a lot of times you don't even need the ustedes. You can just say ¿cómo están? And we know because it ends in an an that we're talking about you all. The next few slides show different situations, and I would like you to ask yourself whether you think that the people in the pictures would use the formal or informal subject. In this case, we have two girls. Obviously, they're familiar with each other, they're friends, they're the same age, so it would be the tú form, ¿cómo estás tú? Or ¿cómo estás? In this case, we have three scenarios. One, a woman is talking to an older lady that she's taking care of, people meeting in a business situation, and a teacher. In all three of these cases, you would use the usted or the formal you. ¿Cómo está usted, señor or señora? Take a look at this one. Would you use tú or would you use usted? These might be sisters. If you selected tú, you would have been right. Here's another. We're calling her Señorita Diaz. Would you say ¿cómo está usted, señorita? Or ¿cómo estás tú? Normally, if you're not on a first name basis with somebody and you use the term señorita or miss, señora, Mrs., or señor, Mr., or profesor, or doctor, or licenciado, or any other title in front of the name, then you're using the usted form, the formal you. In this case, we have a kid who probably has a locker right down from yours. ¿Cómo está usted or cómo estás tú? Generally, in this case, you would use the informal tú. ¿Cómo estás? In this picture, we have a man, I'm going to call him Señor Alvarez, although that's not really his name. And we're using his title, Señor. So, which one is it? ¿Cómo está usted or cómo estás tú? Normally, if you're going to call somebody Mr. Alvarez, Señor Alvarez, then you're going with the formal usted. In this last picture, we have a young man who's talking to two girls in class. So pick from these three: ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo estás tú? Or ¿Cómo están ustedes? If you pick the last option, you'd be right. He's talking to more than one, so how are you all doing? ¿Cómo están ustedes? Now refer to your Canvas assignment for the day and answer the questions.